As we go through the pastoral planning parameters document, we have now reached the parameters that are related to daily masses. So the first parameter says that priests can celebrate no more than 2 masses per day on weekdays. Now there may be certain exceptions to this, but as a general rule, a priest should not be celebrating more than 2. To clarify this, it states that in a family of parishes with 2 priests, they can do up to 3 daily masses that could be regularly scheduled. And if you have a family with 3 priests, then you could do up to 4 daily masses to be regularly scheduled each day. And so those 2 clarifications actually help us to understand what is meant when it says that priests can celebrate no more than 2 masses a day. Now, you could interpret that to mean that every priest should be celebrating 2 masses per day, but that's not what it says. And in fact, those 2 clarifying statements reveal that that is not what is meant. Every priest shouldn't be doing 2 daily masses every single weekday, because it says that if you have 2 priests, only up to 3 masses can be said each day. Some days, say for example, maybe a Wednesday, which is often the religious ed day, maybe the one priest did a mass in the morning and then he does one in the evening with the religious ed program. But that is not something that he does every single day. We should not expect every priest to do 2 masses every single day of the week. Just because the allowance is made that a priest can do more than 1 weekday mass doesn't mean that he should be doing more than 1 weekday mass every day. Our goal in parishes should not be to try to max out the extent to what our priests are able to do. Because as we'll see, there's many other duties that the priest has to do as part of his ministry. Also under daily masses, we have the parameter that says that daily mass schedules should preference Catholic schools, such that schools have at least 1 school mass per week. So we want to take into account school masses, and most of the time those masses are much more well-attended masses, and so we want to make sure that we're providing mass for our school kids and those that would join those masses. And related to daily masses is mass cancellations. So it says masses can be canceled without substitution for priest funerals, family of priest funerals, clergy conferences, priest convocations, days off, and retreats. And a communion service on those weekday times is an option that can be utilized but doesn't have to be utilized. This parameter really describes what I think many places in the rural area already are experiencing, that if a priest has one of these going on, that there isn't going to be coverage coming in to do the daily mass that day. And if there happens to be deacon, then you may have a communion service. But in other places like in Omaha, there has been a kind of expectation that if there's a normal daily mass schedule, if the priest is going to be gone, say for a priest funeral or one of the clergy conferences, that he has to get a priest coverage for that. And it's becoming more and more difficult for that to occur. So this parameter, in a sense, gives priests the permission to be able to be gone for these kind of important events and to cancel Mass on that day without the expectation to find priest coverage, which, especially if all the priests are trying to go to the priest conferences or funerals, etc., it can be hard to find that kind of coverage.